Hi and smiles everyone, Colleen here and welcome. So today I'm going to be working with my smaller, this is a 5x7 jelly plate, but any size of a jelly plate will work for this. I've been wanting to do some jelly printing and I'm going to use inks today, so I thought I'd take you along. And I find inks are lovely on the jelly plate for making tags, backgrounds and such. So that's what we're going to do today. So you basically need your jelly plate and some rollers and some inks. And I'm going to use some staples and a few marking tools also. So I know it's been a hot minute because we've been very busy around here, being spring and such. I've been spending a lot of time outside, but today is cloudy and rainy and such, so it's the perfect time to come into my craft room. And I've been wanting to do this for a little while now, so I'm excited to do that today. Okay, so what I do when I'm going to do tags, do some jelly printing for tags, is one of the nice things to do so that you're lining it up well. I'll just take the top off of here. Is I like to put the shape of the tag underneath your jelly plate. So this will work with anything that you're printing, of course. And then you know where to line it up, right? So that you're getting your print just the way you want it. And I find that's a great way to do it. Okay, I'm just going to straighten this a little bit. Maybe. All right, so we're going to do some experimenting with our jelly plate. And we're going to use inks today. And what I'm using for inks today is a pigment ink. And it's these Stampin' Up pads. These are old inks that I rarely ever use anymore. So that's what I'm going to use with this today, to use up some of that ink. And this is a great way to use up if you happen to have inks that you find you don't reach for all that often anymore. This is a way to use those inks and make some lovely things with it. All right, so where to start? We're going to pick a color. That's the first thing we'll do to work with. So perhaps we'll work with some reds and pinks to start with. So I'm wondering which red would look. Let's try these two to start with, perhaps. So this is with jelly printing, you're not always, that's what's fun about it too, you're not always sure what you're going to get, right? So I like that about it, is you get this surprise every time, somewhat of a surprise. Okay, because I'm left-handed, I'm going to slant my jelly plate a bit, because I just work with it's just like when I am going to write or anything, I always slant my paper. So I'm just going to slant that a little bit. So I'm going to use this pink to start with. Oh, that's quite a bright pink. That's okay. So you just apply it like you would your paint. You do the same thing with your inks. Okay, and then I have a paper to roll off on. So there was quite a bit more ink there. And then just run it over this wet rag a bit. Okay, so I want to mark this. I believe that's what I'll do. So I have not tried this sponge on ink. Let's try that. Oh, there's a little hair on there. See if we get any marks. Doesn't look like it's doing a lot. Oh, I got a little piece of hair on there. Isn't that the way? Oh, maybe that isn't hair. Maybe that's just... Well, we're going to leave that alone for now. Put a little more back on here, I think. Oh, I got the end. There we go. All right, I'm going to just apply a little bit more on there because I touched it. And also, I don't mind getting ink on my hands, but you can always use rubber gloves if you so wish, if you don't want to get ink on your hands. But I tend to forget to put my gloves on. I just jump right in, and I find it washes off quite well. Okay, we're going to still try and see what we get using this. I can't really see it all that much, but that's the thing. With ink, you don't see it as well when you're working as you do with paint. I'm going to use this little straw and make some little dots on here also. So just randomly. Okay, I think that's all I'll do. And then I just take my paper and line it up with the one underneath. There we go. Then I'm going to just, you can use your hand, but I'm going to just use this roller. And I don't mind that I get ink on the back, because it just adds character to the back of your tag. Let's see what we get. Okay, so the markings from the sponge did not really come through, but the dots sure did. All right, that's all right. That's the start of our background. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this red here, and we'll put some on here. I'll apply it a little lighter. It's just a slightly different than the pink. There we go. And then we'll use a stencil. What stencil do I want? I've got some stencils over on the side over here. Well, let's see about these words, how well those words will show up. So I'm going to just lay that on top. And I can still see where my paper is. And we'll put the paper on top. We'll see what we get. Funny how I haven't used this on the ink. I was doing some earlier, and that's where this is coming from. Oh, that shifted, so I better not do any more. There we go. That's quite nice. That works. Okay, so that'll make a nice background. All right, now I'm going to take another tag here, and we're going to do a second tag and see what we get. So I just rub this on here because there's quite a bit of ink still on there. So I'm not making oh, look at how that one turned out. Gorgeous. Both of those are going to make great backgrounds for tags. That's all we need to do to those ones. I do like how those turned out. I think my favorite is that one out of these two. Okay, so I'm going to just roll this off and change colors. We will. now that we know that sponge doesn't work, we'll use these other marking tools. That's the one thing with paint. The marking tools work better on paint, and you can see what they're doing, but they still work on ink. They're just more subtle, I would say. Okay, I think we'll need to wipe this a little bit. Wipe that off. And then we'll use, let's use some purples maybe this time. So, shall we use, let's use these two. So I'm basically working in pairs with the inks. I decided today just to add a couple of colors. Okay, and I usually put the lighter color. I use it, whoa, that came right off the, oh dear. Came off the rails, as they say. There we go. I just don't want to get ink everywhere. It should just snap back on. Okay, well, we'll use it and I'll fix that later. It just came off, and we can put it back on. Okay, let's get some ink on here. Okay, this one's quite light, so I'm going to put a couple of layers. There, that's a little better. One more roll through it. There we go. Okay, now let's try this circle. Oh yeah, we're going to see this quite a bit. Off to the side a little. Okay, let's see what we get. This is always the fun part. I have this tiny little one too that we can use. It's always the fun part to find out what we're going to achieve here. So I'm going to just use my hand this time. Like, you don't always have to have a roller. See the ink that was on my hands? Let's see what we get. Okay, that is quite subtle, but very nice. I like it. Okay. I just want, you know, a subtle bit. I'm going to just put this like this for now, and then we'll fix it later. Oh, no, I got it fixed, I think. Okay. Put that over here. We won't use that again today. All right, so the top layer, I'm going to use this one. Be a little more gentle with it. See what we get with this darker. It should be quite a bit darker. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's such a pretty purple. I know it's hard to see on camera, but it is a very pretty purple. Okay. Just take that. Okay, what shall we use this time? We used our letters. Let's use this one. Let's see what we get. It looks interesting. All right, so there we go. I'm going to use my roller on this because it is the stencils underneath it, just to get good coverage over the stencil. All right, let's see what we get. Oh, look at that. That is really nice too. Like, these are going to make such gorgeous. I'm going to just shut that. And then we'll take it off and we should get another print. That's what's nice, is you get 2 prints from one, right? So let's see what this will look like with the white showing through on these here circles. Look at that. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Both of them are beautiful. So you can get 2 prints from one stencil, right? Which is always great. So these are going to make perfect tags. And from there we would decorate our tags, and I will clip off the edges to make them into tags. So you can do this and make journal cards. You can do a whole page, but you wouldn't, of course, need a bigger. I'm just using my 5 by 7. I also have an 8 by 10. So, okay, now let's just wipe this off again. And maybe we should make some blue one, a blue one this time, maybe. Would look nice. So let's pick out some blues. We'll put that there. This is not Stampin' Up, but I love this color so much. It's called Warm Breeze. And I wonder, I'm just gonna put a little here so I can match it really well. It's kind of it's a bluish turquoise kind of color. So I think that might match it really good. Oh, I gotta just, this one, look at that. It's from sitting so long, I think, is why they're catching on me. There we go. Now, let's see if we can get this open without, there we go. I'm going to put that right beside there. Sometimes I do this just to make sure I've got the colors that I want. I just do a dab on it. Yeah, no, that's not the one for this. It's a little too dark. Maybe this tempting turquoise at the bottom. That will work. I don't think I'll even test that. This will work, I think, with that color. Whoop! I do have the sample, a little sample there. Yeah, that's going to work lovely. Lovely, lovely. So let's just make sure we got the purple off of this. So just an old rag is what I use. This is an old face cloth that was pretty well worn out. So I just use that, and then I roll off on the paper as well. Okay, so let's get this on here. I have an idea that I wanted to try to see if it works. I saved the threads of things. I'll show you what I mean here. Because I actually don't even know for sure why I did, but I did. I thought they'll come in handy somehow. So I thought I would try. So just the different threads when you're sewing and such, I keep those. And then I thought, you know, you could make a bird's nest on a page or a tag. Or I'm thinking this might make a really interesting pattern on my, I don't know, jelly plate is what I was thinking I could do. That's it. Maybe some up here. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but we're going to give it a shot. Maybe a little in the middle here. Not quite so much, maybe. Bring it down a little. That one's kind of bunched up. Whoop. Well, you touch it a little bit and it just takes off on you. Okay, let's see what happens when we do one on top of that. If it even works. I think it would work with paint for sure, but I'm not sure with the inks how well it'll work. Oh, look at that. Wow. Now that's cool. And I got some colored threads to go with it. You know, let's take these off and see if I can get another print with these off. So I think we'll do one more, and I won't put quite so many on because that is pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So we should be able to get another print from that. See what happens. Whoop, wrong one. Look at that. It's much more subtle. I got a little purple on the side. That is very cool. Can you see that? That's very cool. Okay, I'm going to work with both of those a little bit more. But first, I want to try one more. Put a little more ink on and put a lot less threads on and see what happens. It's so fun to play with your jelly plate. It really is. Okay, so this time, let's separate these better and not put them in such a clumpy way. We'll put them more in a single string. Move this one up a little. Try not to touch them. Then we'll do one here. Oh, that looks like it was left on there from the last one. Last bit we did with the string. And I'll just leave it there. I think it'll be fine. Maybe put one right in here. Let it double up a little bit. Maybe something in there, because I really didn't get a lot. Okay, maybe one right there, hey? Let's try some right here. Okay, let's see what we get with this one. It's going to be a lot more subtle. But I think it'll be cool. So there's, you know, anything you're looking at in your house and you think, oh, that might make a good marking. Give it a try on your jelly plate. Oh, look at that. I think I like this one better, but there's the two differences. Okay, I'm gonna take those off. Now I got some colored thread as a bonus. And we're going to use a stencil. Now, the first stencil one, let's use the same color. And we'll do it on this one. That's what we're going to do. Now we got to pick a stencil. I wonder. I got a few over here. No, I don't think that one. This one, no. I think we're going to use these dots. Let's see what happens. Okay. And then we'll see what we get. There we go. Not bad. It needs a little bit more maybe. We'll take this off and I'm going to use it on this one. It'll be much more subtle because the ink is the same color as we've already used, so I don't know if it'll even show up, but we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, see that? Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to leave this alone, I think. That'll make a nice start of a background. Well, it will be a background, and then we're going to decorate it from there. But see how subtle those turned out? I like that. Okay, so we're going to try this darker Warm Breeze ink, and we're going to put it on this one. But I'm not sure. Just lightly. I don't have to clean that too bad. I wonder what I should use for a stencil. I am just thinking about, no, we did that. Well, that one might look interesting. And this one might look, oh, I haven't even used this one. Or we could use this one. Well, that's not quite big enough. We have this one that might look interesting, or we could use this one. No, not this one, because it's the thinner lines like that. No, we don't want that one. So this one's a good choice, maybe. We also have this one. I think I'm going to use this one and see what we get. Okay. Let's get our ink on there. This is quite a bit darker one. I was being too light. Wasn't getting any of it. Okay. Okay, that should be good. So let's put it like that. And we'll put this on top. See what we get. Oh, I should not put my arm in that. There we go. It's a little busy, but I can work with it for sure. Okay. It will be perfect to for a background. So now we have this that we can take a print right off of. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, look at that. That is really nice. Nothing more needs to be done with that at all. Isn't that great? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so shall we do one more? Yeah, let's do one more because I want to test out this one here, stencil. So we've done blues, we've done reds. Maybe we should do some greens. So let's see, this one's pretty light green, but it'll be nice, I think. And then this green could go with it. Or we have this more, this is called artichoke, always artichoke. Or we could go with this. I think we're going to go with this one here. It's a little bit brighter. I'm not even sure what that one was called. Garden green. And then this one is old olive. So we'll start with the old olive. Oh yeah, that spreads nice. The one thing about these inks is they spread very nicely, I must say. Okay, should we put any markings on this? Maybe we will. I don't even know where this came from, but both sides could be used. Let's try it with this flat side and see what happens. Whoop, doesn't want to come up. See what we get. What? Okay. No idea. But we'll see if it marked it all. Oh, I have a little thread that wants to get in the action. Okay. Let's see if those marked at all. Oh yeah, look at it. I like that marking. It's a nice marking. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, now we're gonna try, that was old olive, wasn't it? We're gonna use we're gonna use some garden green. Actually, I think I want to use the other. I do want to be a little more subtle, I think. So we're going to use always our artichoke. And I think I'm going to, well, no, I better wipe this off a little bit. Okay, I didn't wipe it completely off. I'm going to just sort of put them together and see what happens. Whoop. This is quite a bit darker, I think. Got quite a bit on there too, so I'm going to take a little off. There we go. All right, let's see. This might be a little harder because they're pretty tiny spots, but I think I want to try and get this in there. So let's go this way so we get, should it be this way? Go this way. Okay, buddy. Let's see what we get. All right. I don't know if we got much. No, we didn't get much, just a bit. Just a tiny little bit we got. But that's okay because I really like the back the way it is already. So let's take this off and see what we get on a one that has nothing on it yet. See if we like it. Oh yes, look at that. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. That worked out very nicely. So I like both of those. So the one, we have to finish off this one, don't we? What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce some of this green. I think we'll use olive green. And maybe we'll try and see about some letter. This here one that we used. Yeah, except we'll put it that way. Not that it would be bad to put it this way at all, but I want the words to be a little different. Okay, than the other one we did. Okay, let's see if this green will go well with this. I have no idea. Color theory is not, I'm not the best with color theory, but we're gonna see. Because we can keep going if we're not happy. Okay. Now we may end up getting some of this red, which is fine with me. Let's see what we get. We'll go this way. Not that it's going to make a big difference. Just see if we get any of this. There we go. I like it. It does go well together. Might try get a little bit more right here, maybe. If we can. We might not be able to. Oh, got a little bit. Just enough. Perfect. Okay. So again, we should use another one just to get this off. And then we'll decide if we want to do anything to it. The ones that we have been just taking afterwards have been working out that nothing else has to be done. Okay. And this is the same. Look at that. All right. I think that's enough for today. I just wanted to share this with you. And some very, very simple things. Stencils, ink, a few marking tools, and you get these beautiful backgrounds. Okay, I will clean that up later. Okay, so I just let's see what we pulled off today. So these are the ones that we pulled off today, and they're going to make great backgrounds. Look at that. That's gorgeous. And you could never achieve this without a Gelli plate. It would be very difficult anyway, but very artistic, right? Beautiful. That one turned out nice too. Just pulled it from the leftover ink. And then this one. And then this one, we did the string, the thicker. And then this was the just thin one. which is really nice. And then this one is gorgeous, isn't it? Turned out very nice, as well as that one. And then we did these pink red ones also that turned out really well. Like perfect. I had done a couple more before I turned on the camera. Let's see. I'll show you a couple. I had done this one. And then this one, I think, turned out really nice. Then I did this one, and I think I'm on this one. Here, I'll show you. I did this one, and I used a flower stencil also. I used 2 stencils on this one, and you see the subtle flower in the background, which I thought was really cute. And then this one was a feather stencil that I used that worked out really nice. Well, oh, and then there's this one where I did not wipe off any ink. I just kept pulling, and I got this really interesting one from doing that. Very interesting. So those are just some of them, but they are just so much fun. And once you get your plate out, you can just go and go and go. And that's just one thing that you can do with the ink on your Gelli plates. And quite simple, right? But look at the results. They are just incredible. So I want you all to have a very creative day and a very lovely day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep our community growing that way. And I will see you all later, and you have a crafty, crafty day.